Hello viewers, or should I say the few closest members of my family and friends I'm forcing to watch this video. We are back on GT Sport for Daily Race C at Laguna Seca today. We're starting from 6th place and I'm in the Audi TT, which isn't the best car around here for the race because of the tyre wear, but I'm too lazy to learn two different cars for this track, so we're going to jump up here on board with the leader for the moment, and I'll just explain why the Audi TT isn't the best car for the race. The Audi TT is of course a front wheel drive car, which means it chews through its tyres, and for the race setup today we are on the mediums. So you really need to conserve your tyres, and straight away I have gotten it sideways, so that's not what you want to do. You definitely need to be driving carefully and very conservatively. So we're coming down here on the first lap, and we're about to see this New Zealand guy just glitch for a moment. And there he goes, he warps back to his actual place. So we are on the run up towards the corkscrew, the famous corner here at Laguna Seca, and the Kiwi guy has actually made a mistake coming out of that corner. We go up the outside, he brakes extra late, doesn't make the corner, we cut back in, and we are up into 5th place already. As we come over to finish our first lap, we can see that 2nd, 3rd and 4th are up ahead just about a second and a half, and 2nd place has a penalty, which it's only a half-second penalty, so he probably had a little cut at the corkscrew chicane, but the penalty line here is actually not in such a bad position. If you have a half-a-second penalty, you don't actually lose a position. So we get a little bit messy coming out of the exit of turn 3, nicely hook up the apex of turn 4, and we are going to chase and try and close up to this pack up ahead as we jump up to the two WRXs who are going now side by side up the hill through this quick left-hander. That's not a place you really want to be going side by side. You see that the guy in 4th is going to back out of it. That gives us the run. We have the inside line going up into the corkscrew, and once again we have gained the position up into 4th place, same part of the track as last lap. Coming around to the end of lap 2, a little look up the inside into the last corner just to see if we can put the WRX ahead of us off of his braking point. Doesn't work, but that's okay. We're in his slipstream now, so we're going to chase him down to turn 1 and 2. They call this little left-hand kink here turn 1. It's a bit silly. Most people actually refer to it as turn 1, the hairpin. A little touch there. It's very difficult to pass on this track, actually. If the driver ahead knows what he's doing, he can be very defensive, and it's almost impossible to find a way by. At the exit of turn 5, we're getting a better run out of there. We're going up the hill, and we're going to hit the apex of this corner. He runs a little bit wide, and we get through cleanly. So that is now 3 positions in 3 laps that we've gained. We're up into 3rd place, and can now set about chasing the 2 leaders who have actually pulled out a little bit from this group. So it's about maybe 3 seconds up the road, I think they are. Coming through to start lap 4, we have a bit of work ahead of us, so I think what we're going to do here is cut ahead in the race, and over the next few laps we're going to start to see tyre wear come into play. So we're up here on lap 6 now, and you can see the battle for the lead has intensified. Second place is right behind first, and first is struggling with his tyres. This is where you really start to see the Audi struggle in the race, as the drivers who have had a hard time with managing their tyres really will begin to lose a lot of time out of the traction zones. So out of the last corner, out of this one here, that's why it really pays to keep things as smooth as possible. You don't want to just be stamping on the accelerator as soon as you have the car in a straight line. You really still need to feed in the power gradually and drive as smooth as possible, which is actually something that at the start of the week I wasn't so used to doing, but thanks to watching a video by the YouTuber Tigny, I was really able to kind of perfect this technique over the course of the week, and my tire management just really got so much better. So we see here we're just gaining so much time as these two in the lead are fighting. We're probably only about a second behind now, and the Subaru is pulling alongside going up into the corkscrew. There might be a little bit of... Nope, they both managed to get through, but as you can see we're just visually gaining so much time. We are going to go on board here with the leader, and just look in the bottom left corner, you'll see the state of his tyres, and then as we jump back to me, you see there's just the difference in how much better I've kept my tyres, and the leader pulls into the pits. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not the strategy you want to be on. This is a no-stop race. When you pit here at Laguna Seca, you just lose so much time. You can see he is just dropped right out of the race now, and it's probably going to be a straight fight between the WRX and myself now for the victory. So to me, the WRX is a bit of a strange choice for this track. I'm not really sure why would you go with it. It seems like the better car to go with if you're not going to be in the Audi is the Renault Megane. And actually, anytime I do see the Megane, I fear it in the race. It's just so much better on its size. And the WRX, he has run wide here. We are going to sneak past him. It seems like this has been my most fortuitous section of the track, because we have gained 3 places and now we are up into the lead. So as we come round to finish the 8th lap, we have 5 to go, and just quick little check of his tyres. They're in a little bit better condition than mine, but so long as we drive defensively, we don't make too many mistakes, we have the straight line speed advantage, so we should be able to fight for the victory here. So let's just take a moment to admire the beauty of this game, just how good it still looks. It's a 3.5-year-old game, I think, running on the PlayStation 4. It just always amazes me just how good this game looks. So as we ride on board with the Subaru at the end of the 9th lap, you can see how much quicker he can get around this last corner and the traction advantage he has. But here is where the Audi TT just really shines. In the straight line speed, you can see me pulling away on the straight. So you can actually see here just how smooth I'm driving, and I've actually managed to pull away a little bit. So the pressure is off for now. We're going to have just 3 laps after this one to bring it home. So actually now, if we check the tire conditions between us, you can actually see that I have managed to get a little bit of an advantage. So I think that's just because I've been driving much more smoothly. He's been kind of a little bit more ragged, probably a bit frustrated that he isn't able to get up and make a move on me. So riding on board here, we have the approach down to, I think it's turn 4, drop down into 3rd gear at the 3 board, hit the apex, move onto the power. As you get the run up the hill, you have this quick left-hander that you want to brake somewhere between the 2 and the 1. You need to hit the apex here. He hits the curb a little bit too hard, gets it wide, and loses a bit of time. So you can really see the importance of keeping your driving as smooth as possible. The precision you need to get a quick lap time around here is quite high. Some of the curbs are quite dangerous to hit. You have these sausage curbs on the insides of the corners, which often if you hit them, you're going to go off into the sand, and then the sand itself presents a challenge. Because if you run wide, then of course you're going to be dealing with dirty tires, and you know in this game with dirty tires, that is going to affect you for probably the next 3-4 corners, maybe half of the lap. So we're going to ride on board with me now, and I'm just going to shut up for a bit and let you enjoy it. So as we come through to start the last lap of the race, you can see that the Subaru, he's basically been on my tail this whole time. Haven't really been able to pull out a gap, but we've maintained a safe distance pretty much at all times. I go a little bit deep there, but it's okay. He doesn't have the grip left in his tires either to really take advantage of it. So you can say that I am just going to be driving this last lap as smoothly as possible. One thing I do want to say is that the drivers on the Japanese, Australian, the Asian servers are just much more polite than what I experienced when I was racing in Europe. You just get far fewer dive bombs. The only thing I will say, and this is kind of especially true for the Japanese drivers, is they will defend very, very hard. For a culture which talks about falling on their sword, they do not like to give up a position. Actually, sometimes it can be very frustrating because oftentimes it's just a better strategy to allow yourself to get overtaken and just not lose all the time fighting. So we can see the Subaru, he's getting very close here. I am taking things extra cautiously. Is he going to have a go up the inside here on the last corner? No, he's not. Look at that, we hit the apex perfectly. And that is going to be victory at Laguna Seca. I think we gained 5 places from our starting place. We also got the fastest lap, so the overall finishing time wasn't that great. This was from a race earlier in the week. I did improve my overall race time much more since then, and actually had I think 19 minutes 17 was my quickest. But at the time, that was my most satisfying victory in GT Sport to date. So I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed the race. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out.